What's going on, guys? I am Knight. I want to welcome you to Live at Night, my brand new show here on YouTube where it's a live showing where it's just me and you. There's nothing going on, no particular topics, no nothing. Just me and you talk about whatever, see what's going on within the web and life with you guys. And that's pretty much it. But I'm very excited for this. I want to thank you all for joining me. I know I've been promoting this all week because it is a very, very important topic to me. It is one that needs to be spoken about. It is one a lot of people don't like to have discussions about. So I decided, why not? So this is a Live at Night special. This is the first of its kind. This is Race and Queer, a discussion about race in the gay community. I want to preface this by saying this. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully the music isn't too overpowering. Hopefully it's a good blend. Let me know in the comment section how it sounds and if it's okay or not. If anything, I can just turn it off. So how this came about, it's very interesting, birth. As a man who also likes men, I was on the wonderful world of Grindr. I was, and somebody reached out to me. I didn't have a particular interest, and that was conveyed. They didn't take that too well, but so in doing so, they took the liberty of, because my social media is linked to my Grindr and things like that. Yeah, I know. Shameless plugs. He went on to said page, social media, and saw that I liked white guys. Okay. So he decided to use that against me, and I was called a coon because of it. Of course, I found that interesting. I found that very funny in the moment. I'm like, are you serious? So I took the social media and I posted it, talking about, the heavy issue we have within the gay community, amongst other, hypocritical things and subjects. And a few different platforms of media, like, why don't you speak about this? Even straight people, heterosexuals, would message me and say, hey, I never knew this was an issue. Why don't you speak about this? As a straight man, I'm not aware of the things that you guys go through within the community, especially a person of color. So I found it very interesting. I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I think I will. Because I honestly, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let me know. It's rare that I see people, web personalities, or just a general overall, community speak about race and the issues that it has within it. So like, you know what? Let me do that. I'm a very straightforward person. I say what's on my mind. I talk about things. So I said, you know what? Why not make a show out of this? And this is a great opportunity to use this for a Live at Night premiere. So that's what I'm doing. So, a disclaimer. This conversation will get very uncomfortable. It will get very heavy. Some of you may be upset by it. Some of you may agree. But that's what this is for, and this is what this is about. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you perceive or think this is, it's real. And that's the most important thing I want you to take from this. Especially anybody watching that is from my fellow community. Especially, I want you to. Disclaimer number 2. By any means, does this conversation, does this subject, do my words today speak as a definitive, as one particular race, in terms of all? So when I bring up white gays, black gays, Asian gays, things like that, this is not a definitive thing for every single one of them as a whole, but it is a majority. This isn't based off opinion. This isn't based on feeling. This is based off fact, personal interactions, and also fellow gays, man or woman, from said and respected community, whether it's white, especially white. I get a lot of that. I get a lot of support for those who actually see and understand the issues amongst their community in the gay community. So again, I'm speaking nothing as a definitive. I'm going off facts, interactions, and fellow peers, and just people in the community that I don't even know. So, I hope you're ready. We're going to dive in. This is a complete open forum. Sound off in the comment sections below. If you want to get your questions out, send them to Twitter using hashtag AskLAK. Okay? If you want me to ask these questions, anonymously, because the topic is kind of rough, it's really rough, and if you have a disagreeing approach and you want to talk about it, but you don't want to be seen or called out or people know what you look like, I will respect that and I will just read the question. Or towards the end of the show and in between, little towards the halfway point towards the end, I will send a live link to come here on the show via video and have the discussion. Okay? So, with that being said, I think I'm ready. I hope you're ready. And let's get into it. Now, in America, we all know the history. Okay, no need to go over that. As a black man, it's tough being in this country no matter what you are. Straight, gay, asexual, pansexual, knows whatever you are. Just being black amplifies everything of that nature towards a billion. Because it's hard. And 9 times out of 10, we get the shit. We do. It's been happening for years. We're starting to get at a better place. Yes, we are. Where we're seeing a lot more unity amongst us and other races and things of that nature. So that's a good sign. But we still have our issues. And why this is so interesting to me. And I'm going to tell you the basis of this, and I'm going to say interactions and stuff and why. The gay community is one, and that I call hypocritical, and one that sometimes I utterly cannot stand or it hurts to be a part of. And the reason why I say that is because we're a community that whines and cries, but fights for so much equality, for acceptance, for just to be seen, to be heard, to be seen, to be taken as a human being, to have rights. But yet, we cannot do that within our own community at all. And that's what I find interesting. Because you get mad, you cry, you feel some type of way that America and people just don't accept you. They don't appreciate you. Granted, that's a reality. But you're fighting for a cause that you don't even respect amongst your own community. Because amongst the gays, bisexuals don't exist. That's an excuse for a bisexual not to admit that they're gay. Because it's impossible to like both genders. Completely. Okay? Gays and lesbians, they have a thing together. Apparently, it's not the best. It's like an ancient war. Okay, cool. But the biggest thing is race. And I'm sorry to say it, the number 2 offenders are the white and Asian community. White at number 1. So that hurts to see. Because we're supposed to be a community that unites. Right? We're supposed to be a community that comes together and accepts all of us. Right? So why is that not the case? And that's still years and years and centuries of programming. Still. It also comes from a word that's heavily present, and that is superficial. So we're going to break it down. There's race, superficiality. Well, I guess those are the 2 main talking points, to be completely honest with you. And that's why I had a rant on social media. Because That hurts to see. Very much so. And there's excuses people try to use. There's ways people try to work around it that paints them in a different light. No, still the same. So that is the basis why I'm making this video today. That is why I wanted to educate. That is why I wanted to bring the attention to it. And that's why I was like, you know what? A lot of people are going to be mad. And that's fine. If you're mad and you feel some type of way, pimp, that's not looking too good for you. 9 times out of 10, I'm talking about you. So if all members of a particular community can accept and see and admit and hate the actions that go on within their own, where are the lies? So, before we get into the main topic of race, let's get into superficiality. Is that a word? Don't know. It is now. So, as men, I just think the general consensus naturally, but especially gay men, are very visual. Very visual. So 9 times out of 10, we only look for somebody that looks like us. The mirror image. Especially prevalent in the white community of gays. If it's not a mirror image of themselves, you're gone. And the reason why I bring these things up is because there are 2 ways that you can tell and that these situations happen. There's completely ignoring, being completely disrespectful to someone of color that approaches, denying, blocking, or just being a straight up dick. And that's the majority of the reactions that happen when it comes to approach, interaction, and things like that between interracial, examples. So, superficial. If you don't look like them, if you don't have a 24 pack, if you ain't got a big deal, if you ain't got a big ass, Society has programmed and groomed this country so much, especially the gays, because of how physical and visual we are. What was I going to say? I got passionate there for a little second. Oh, yes. So invested in that, and it's so much of an issue that they are delegating the very existence of a person to a body part. Why? What the fuck is that going to do? What is the difference? Because they have an 8-pack, they're perfect? They're gonna treat you right? Because they have a huge duh, that makes them a man? Because they have a fat ass, that's the only thing that makes them important? Fuck their personality, though. Fuck trying to get to know them. And this is the third thing. Thank you, John, for reminding yourself. It was race, superficiality, and preference. Preference is that big ass word that's thrown around as an okay to think it doesn't deem you as racist, superficial as fuck, or shallow as hell. What's it to do with that? I just don't prefer black guys. I just don't prefer Asian men. I just prefer 15 inches. I just prefer a fatty. You prefer you're ignorant. That's what it is. And it's a sad reality. A very, very sad reality. Because nobody should be delegated or deemed worthy of something based on a body part. When people struggle as is with image. Because of society. Because of people like that. It's an ongoing issue within the community. Very much so. So superficiality is an issue. Not everything is about looks. That is arrogance. That is decades and centuries of power. Because someone doesn't look like you because I'm all perfect and I go to the gym every single minute of my life. You ain't shit to me unless you look like me. What? Why is that the thought process? Why do we do that, fellow gays? Why? It's not okay. Because you can see someone straight or heterosexual, anybody else that sees you based off how you look and hate you, diminish you, put you down. Look at that fag. Look at that tranny. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that fat ass princess. Look at that whatever. These are things they say to us, but you turn around and do it to your own people. But you're mad that they're saying it to you. Does that make sense to you? Anybody in the chat, anybody watching right now, does that make sense? And I know we've all experienced it. All of it. So what makes it okay? So, superficiality, big issue. Not accepting of our own what we look like because of what we think perfection is, because what we think is sexy is, because what we prefer. Instead of looking at the individual. Cool. So let's get into the big one, race, what we're here for. Now buckle in. As I said in the beginning of this, as an African American man, we take the shit no matter what side we're on. LGBTQ or hetero. We get the shit. If it's not racial, we're used as a fantasy. The BBC. And it's all we're good for. And that's where people like to get confused, thinking, oh, I fuck black guys. So did the masses back in the day. Because they wanted what? Oh, that BBC. That doesn't justify because you sleep with someone black, but still treat them like shit because you don't prefer them. Doesn't make any difference what the hell they were doing back there. Didn't like them. Didn't prefer them. Couldn't stand them. That's not for me. I'm good. But I'll fuck you right because I can't get that from my man back in the house. So if it's not utterly just in your face, that's racial. There is a fantasy. And again, I'm prefacing this to say, not every race I'm about to break down is a definitive. I'm not saying everyone in it that is delusional. And if you got that from what I'm saying, something's wrong. Okay? So I just want to put that disclaimer out again. But it is majority, and it is an issue. Don't worry, we're not safe either. We have our issues. Yes, we do. So, as somebody who also likes, white guys, this is something consistently ran into and I see all the time. And it's handled with such disrespect. Blatant. Sometimes passive. And it goes back to the mirror image. If you don't look like me, you're not worthy. And that is incredibly fucked up. Because the white gay community, they're very vocal about equality when it comes to the outside world. Very much so. But again, they don't respect it within their own. You see somebody with a little tint. Oop. Nah, I'm fucking good. Huh? I have tons and 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 tons of white gays that I know that say I fucking hate that. It is such a disgusting trait within our community and I wish we'd work on it. Some people go as far to say it makes me fucking hate being white, but that's their call. That's a lot. But why? If you are a white, if you're a white gay and you're watching this now, whether live or playback, why? What's the difference between me or somebody else and another white guy? What's the difference other than skin? Because we're human. What are they going to give you differently than we would, than an Asian would, Middle Eastern? They're the number one prime holder of racial complexes in this community. And it's never spoken about because people are afraid to. And then they feel some type of way when you call them out on it. When you only speak the truth. Why are you upset? Because they had a nerve? Because somebody is finally saying this is not fucking right. And Asians are a good second. Because Asians only love majority. Again, I'm not going to say that anymore because it's preface and you should know. Love white men. The two go hand in hand because, again, fantasized. Or this bred that way. Some cultures, again, when you see black, are taught to dislike it. Already come with a bias. Comes with a particular view and how we're seen, how we're acting. So you take that. So these two just bounce off one another. And it sucks. And I hate to say it, but you can automatically tell from the get-go which are which. Absolutely can. And it's sad to say. Now, Asians aren't so self-aware as some or majority of Caucasian gays are. They're just simply not. Because it's one tracked, boom. That's what I love. Give me my white man. And vice versa. It's almost like a programmed that they're spiritually linked. And they'll both be on some ignorant shit. Yes, they will. That is not how this world should be. That's not how this community should be. I see people online, influencers, media personalities that are known for saying some racist ass shit. But yet, they'll use a brother to promote some shit who the brother just so happens to be famous. But they use the clout. What? That's what I'm saying. With us, if it's not flat out, I don't like you motherfuckers, it's fantasized. What's being used. I'm going to tell you, we get the brunt out of the whole community. White, Asian, Latino, we get the brunt. Even Latinos will kick your ass to the curb. Because half of them don't want to admit they're black themselves. Just is what it is. And like I said, I'll get to us. I know it'll sound like, hey, he's just going off like black people are innocent. They don't have their ways, their ignorance. I've experienced this, and you have. And best believe, y'all ain't free from this either. I will be talking about my people. I'm going down the line because this is a bigger issue, and nobody is safe from it. Nobody is excluded from it because we're a community. And we seem to forget what that word means. So, white gays, I ask you, Why? Why do you have all these stipulations? So you can tell because the all majority are molded the same. You look at them, the same aesthetic across the board. So you have an idea about what the fuck you about to get into. And I have a thing. I call them humans. When I run into white gays who actually are human beings, who don't have a racial complex, who don't see race, who don't put race first, who don't see people as objects, who aren't looking just for the BBC, who aren't just looking at people from distinctly a visual standpoint. I do that with anybody that fucking does that, because that makes you a human. But like I said, number one conspiracist, is that the right word? Probably not. But the number one culprit, there you go, are the white gays within the community. And it's sad, especially coming from somebody who fucking loves white boys. Now, of course, me being a bisexualist, remember, we don't exist. I'm not going to bring up women and their aspects of it because this isn't the topic of discussion. But there's shit there too. But we're sticking to my gays right now because they're hard-headed, delusional, amongst other things. And things need to be heard. But before we continue, I want to thank you guys who are watching now. I see the numbers keep fluctuating. People keep going in and out, which is sure I expected. I'm also not a big guy in terms of like following. But I really tried to make this as public as possible and get as many people to view it. I don't give a fuck about subscribing and doing whatever. It would help. I would absolutely love that. You can hit the buttons right there. But this was an important topic for everyone to know, whether you were part of the LGBTQ community or not. So if you're watching this, please share this right now. Spread it across any media you have. Get people in so we can bring more awareness. All right? Okay. All right. It's enough of the white guys. I beat up on you guys enough. But I'm hoping you understand. And that's why I'm forcing it, because you are the top offender in this. Do better. You don't prefer anything. You're still an asshole. You're still a bigot. That's with any race that uses that. I just don't prefer. I just don't prefer a little duh over a big one. It's a fucking difference. It's a dick. Gets a job done and it works. As long as that motherfucking can work, as long as you can feel it, what you bitching about? But society thinks is the only thing that there is. And when they take it, it's like, oh, it hurts. The fuck? Duh. But we think that's cool. Not my business. Same thing goes with an ass. The shit work, don't it? Fuck do I care if it's huge or not? I got pleasure from it. Cool. Don't give a fuck what you have. You're a human. I'm vibing with you. Not what the fuck's in between your legs or behind you. Or what your body looks like. That's just plain and simple. And I say these things because back in the day, I used to be like that. Oh, that person got a big ol' ass. Oh, they look good. They got this. They slim. They petite. They look good. As somebody who suffers from body dysmorphia and body image and shit like that, I should have known better. As a black man, I should have known better. As a black queer man, I should have known better. But I was ignorant. I was also younger. But I was an idiot. So, we'll tie back all that shit later. My brothers. But this just generally goes out as a black community in general. But we're speaking about gays. There's a stigma within our community, and it was the thing that triggered me into making this, because I got it firsthand. Because the man that called me a coon was black. There's a stigma and issue within our community as if you don't like black people alone. If they ain't your top get as a person of color, you are fucking disowned. You're not black. You don't like your people. So I don't like my people because I like white guys. So black men don't like their people because they're like white women. Okay, heard you. Where the fuck did that come from? That goes for generations in the black community. If you ain't riding or dying for them and them only, when it comes to what you sticking in and what you like, as he called me, you a coon. Yes, as a black community, we should be together. We should be uniting over common issues and causes. About what the world projects upon us. About what we go through, supporting one another, being there for one another, promoting one another. Being those brothers and sisters that we're supposed to be. So we're expecting to do that amongst ourselves, but yet when something goes sideways, that's not ourselves in the slightest, you're booting them out. Why? Because this brother likes a white man? Because I like white men? Because he likes white women? He's not a brother? He doesn't love his race? He doesn't love his people? That is as ignorant can be. Completely. And if you think that it's not, something's wrong with you. If anyone is offended by what I said this whole entire time, then it's you. Why take offense of what's right? Why take offense of what's human nature? At least should be. Why take offense about equality? We all bleed. I'm a little darker than you. Cool. So now you can't fuck with me? Now I can't treat you right? I can't please you? I'm not good enough? Because I like this white man, I'm not black? I don't love my people? What? That is horrible. And this is going to seem like a contradiction, but like I said beforehand when I was explaining it, you know what you're getting into. You know when it happens right in your face. You know when it happens. Black people, not everything is about race. It's just simply not. It is when it's in your face. It is when it's blatant. It is when it's passive. It is when it's obvious. But there's a lot of us, and I speak from this because I used to do it my goddamn self. We lead with hate first. We lead with the norm first. We lead for what society is programmed first. We lead with what happened to us years and years ago and everything. It's still happening right now. We lead with that. I, as well as many other people that I know, used to go into it if I saw a white guy that was cute. Automatically labeled as a racist. Or I'd hit him up and be like, hey, just hoping he ain't got no complex. And that tells the ones that I call human. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Can I say hi first before you accuse me of being a racist? Can I do this? So there's always different two sides of the coin. Mostly. Let me say that. Not always. Mostly. So the same truths that are happening with the white gays within the community. But again, we're going off of our life. We're going off what we're used to when it comes to race in America, and just in general. Everybody just fucking hating us. Putting us down. Getting the shit end of the stick. Putting the brunt. Always. So even though it's not right for us to assume such things before meeting or speaking to somebody, it was caused by the very demographic that we were trying to pursue. White people. And anybody else, but majority white, obviously. But we also have to learn that not every single white person is racist. Not everything is about race. If a white person tells you, hey, your shoe's untied, don't flip off because you think, oh, he's telling me this because he's racist or whatever. That's a simple exaggeration, but I've seen a lot simpler for why people are fucking going off without reason. So we have our issues. And it is unacceptable. Because each one, I'm going to say this for just the sake of proving a point, just because how ridiculous and the ignorance that is spewed back over some shit they should know better. Each one of these communities sit up here and bitch and moan and whine about what everybody else thinks and does to them, but are fucking their own within their community. It has to stop. It has to stop. Shit, to be honest with you, Middle Easterns like Muslims are fucking, they're chilling. Sure, that shit might be dusted around a few here and there, but it's nowhere near the rest of us. In terms of them acting on the ignorance. They're very much so on the other side of it, but damn sure. But they kind of seem to be the only ones that are sit there and getting it together. But as black people, we can't. Asians, you're kind of, listen, I'm sorry. You're kind of there just floating in the middle. You're being pulled in a direction and you're just following. That's what it is. There's not the culture in the household telling you to hate them. Because a lot of people, and I hate this stigma too. A lot of people think, oh, Asians are basically white. What? You can tell which one's a white Asian, or, you know, the Farnsworth Bentleys of the brother. He's a white ass black dude. What? So white people are the only ones allowed to have sophistication, to talk with education, to talk with pronunciation, and all this other shit, and wear a fucking pop-top collar or a collared shirt, and that means they're white. Stop. Can we stop? It's dumb. It's really dumb. So, in kind of like conclusion, conclusion. But I see some people watching now. The chat's pretty quiet. If anybody wants to chime in, you can. Or if you just want to sit in and take it, you can. If you're watching this on playback, keep the conversation going. Hit that thumbs up so this video can see a lot more people. Share this video. I'll be in the comment section going back and forth, talking it out with you guys and everything. Like I said, I expect people to be mad. I expect people to be uncomfortable. I expect people to feel some type of way. I expect people to completely agree and to see this. But at the end of the day, no matter how you feel, the shit's real. It's what it is. We as in this country, including to all of this, because our very point in existence is to come together, to be one, to be accepting of all, because that's what the fuck you're fighting for the outside world. We shouldn't be doing this to people. We shouldn't be doing this to our own. This is why people, one of the reasons why people commit suicide. This is one of the reasons why people cannot come out as who they are. This is one of the reasons people hide in the shadows. This is why people feel like they can't be seen or accepted. Because they can't be accepted in their fucking outside world, and they try to do it within their own community, and they're getting shit on by the very people they thought they can find solace in. Why? I'm gonna put the chat in. I don't expect people to come in, but hey, like I said, now we only have 2 people watching, so I doubt it. So why do that? Does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel superior? Does it make you feel higher to know that that you're the superior race? That I'm perfect because I go to the gym all the time, look at my body. Everybody fans out over me, worship me. The fuck is that worth at the end of the day? Vibe with people. Be one with people. That's the only way we're going to thrive and make progress in this world, in this society, is by coming together first. It's called a fucking community. Not the white community. Not the black community. Or not the white gay community, not the black gay community, not the Asian gay community. You get it. We're all included in that. No matter what fucking letter you are, we are all included in that. And it's not your place to deem somebody else not worthy of that. So, I ask again, my white gays, why? Because you taught it? Because you don't think minorities are attractive? Which is also some bullshit. Asians, why? Why is a white man only suited for you? You feel a connection? That's the only way you feel like you're validated? Why? Black people. Why? Why can't an African American be with somebody outside our race? And why do you disown them just because of it? Why? My Hispanics. Y'all are black. I know there's a thing where, people like to accept all type of things, to look it up and snarl, especially Dominicans. But why? Accept people We're all on this earth together. We have to deal with enough of the outside world of us getting killed, being looked over, being prejudiced against. So many things. Our community is supposed to be our solace together. Don't take that away too. My laptop is dying. Excuse it. There we go. Cool. Don't take that away too. I put the link in the live chat if anybody wants to come on, has any questions, wants to speak on anything that I've said. I'm going to check Twitter now to see if there's any questions. Again, I doubt all of this. Like I said, I'm not a huge person by any means. And a lot of people don't like to talk about race. And a lot of people are just shy. So it is what it is. Hopefully this conversation, like I said, can be continued in the comment sections below on playback. And again, I preface this. Everything I said tonight is not definitive of one race at all. I'm not saying it's every person, but I'm saying it's a majority. I'm saying it happens. I'm saying it's an issue, and I'm saying it needs to change. Do your part. My fellow human white gays, you know the deal. You know the issues. We've had conversations. Do the work. Help be a part of the solution. Don't be afraid to have this conversation. Don't be afraid to call out people. Like I said, I'm guilty of the shit my goddamn self. We've all done it, but who continues to do it? That's the point. And I hope you've gotten it here today. I hope it makes sense. And I hope you truly understand where I'm coming from. My social media is posted in the description box below. Feel free to message me. Feel free to DM me. Whatever you want. If you didn't feel comfortable coming on the show and talking about it, if you didn't feel comfortable sending a question, talking about it, message me privately. I'm all game. But I don't see too many people talking about this, and it needs to be said. It is an issue. And as much as I love y'all, my white brothers, y'all are the number one leader of the charge for it. But we all have issues, no matter what race. You just holding the title. So let's make change. Let's be better. Let's do better. All right. With that being said, I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on the premiere of Live at Night. We will be going live every single Wednesday. Yes, today's Wednesday. Jesus Christ. We'll be going live every single Wednesday here on YouTube and Twitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, like I said, this is a show where I literally just hang out with you guys and talk about shit. Just life. I'm going to work on bringing some guests, just talking bullshitting, going over the latest trending videos on the internet. If y'all want to sit up there and watch and try not to laugh, try not to cringe, try not to challenge us, whatever, this is just the bullshit spot to do that. Every other show on this channel is very structured and has a purpose and a topic. This is where we just go, chill, and bullshit. But I felt like this was the perfect time and subject to premiere this. And we'll see. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys thought about it. Hopefully you understood it. Because this is real life. This is what I go through on a daily. This is what people who look like me go through on a daily. This is what people who just have a little bit of color to them just go through on a daily. And that's not right. Why it ain't right? But you get it. What's going on, Okis? You caught the very end of the show, but welcome. If you're new, subscribe. We'll have a lot more real convos in the future, and you can watch this on playback. But please come back. We'd love to have you. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Again, my social media is posted in the description box below. Catch me here next week. The same time as well as my shows, The Film Cave on Tuesdays at 8, Night's Corner, Mondays at 7, and of course, Live at Night here, 7 p.m. It's been real. I love y'all. I hope y'all doing well. Put love first. Put peace first. Put equality first. And that's it. Love y'all. Peace.